Welcome to the Winecast. This is actually a special edition that I didn't talk about for a reason because I wanted it to be kind of a surprise to everybody.
Wind's killing me.
So I wanted to do this to kind of bring my favorite company right now, you know what I'm saying, to light, my favorite cannabis company right now to light, Garden Greens, you get what I mean? So my guy over here is going to introduce himself, and I want to welcome him to my podcast. Welcome him to Philly.
Finally, a warm welcome from Philly, because it's been like we've been talking. It's just nice dickhead. Yes, Joe, better known Krusty_ill on Instagram.
On Insta.
Garden Greens. Garden Greens IG is Garden Greens NJ, all one word. Follow us there. About to talk about weed.
So this is our first
uplifting moment.
Yeah, this is our first cannabis edition, weed edition podcast.
So bring your lungs.
Bring it because my man brought some goods today, and we just gonna dive into them right now. Just to like show them off a little bit before we try them or whatever the case may be.
It's for the elite
He said,
smokers.
elite.
For the elite, just letting you know.
My guy said these are not even on the market yet, so we're gonna try them for the first time. Well, me, I think he already tried them.
I've tried these two already.
All right, so
I won't tell you which one I'm feeling more, but they're interesting. We've got flavors.
So we're gonna try them for the first time today. Can you break down like each one and which one is which?
All right, so right now I'm breaking out a Mendo OG. You can look at that too. I'll pass that jar around.
And don't worry, we're gonna get the close-ups.
Gotta get the close-up because that's looking real pretty in there. Most people probably smoke the Mendo. That's a NorCal strain up in Humboldt, Mendo County, all that. Next one is GSB right here. That's like, we were talking that banana, the Golden State banana. Everybody, Jersey, Philly knows it, Garden State banana. This is the one that started it all for him. This his Golden State banana strain. It's more of a sativa, so like the buds ain't big, chunky purple like that. So that's more on like a green, real light green, light orange hair.
If y'all could probably try, this is like
that one's gonna put you out.
This is okay.
Yeah, that's a nighttime.
This is indica?
Yeah, that's a wake up.
Okay.
Drink, smoke some coffee. Drink some coffee, smoke some weed with that.
Yeah.
That's that
wake and bake.
That's
right
that
here.
green weed right there.
Oh
And
yeah,
that, you can see the nose on that.
What you say this was?
That's Golden State banana.
Okay.
The Golden State
GSB,
banana.
Golden
If I
State
could put it in
banana.
Philly terms, Golden State banana kind of remind you like in Philly terms, what? This probably never even been on the streets, nothing that look like this. But if you could kind of come close, maybe like a White Widow, like a OG type. But this is way fuzzier. This is, yeah.
See, that's wild
special.
too. He just
This is
said
not even fuzzy. This is.
you could pick up on an OG out of that. One of the parent strains of that is a Ghost OG.
That's
That's one of its parent strains.
That's why I'm looking at it like it giving me OG feels.
Yeah.
Just even how the buzz look.
Well, that
Like a
too,
cushy
like
feel,
Golden
too.
State Banana, shout out him, his team. We've been working with him since we
GSB.
launched. He's a legacy grower. Like I was telling you when I got up, like growing in the cornfields of Indiana, trap shows, trap market, black market, whatever you want to call it, just running, hustling. We got together with him and we brought his brand to the licensed market. So we got with him a lot of genetics that the street, the black market, legacy market, whatever you want to call, are used to, but never on an adult use licensed market. So like,
y'all pretty much able to kind of like create certain things that other people legally can't, so to speak.
we can provide that platform for your growers and your breeders like that.
I don't want to get the tops mixed up though. So
Here.
he know which one is which.
Oh no,
you
I know which one is which.
Mendo's.
This is the Mendo, okay.
That Mendo's got
That's
some
the
like
Mendo.
dark purple to it. Like think indica when you think in the Mendo. Dark purple, chunky bud. That GSB, a lot greener, a lot fluffier kind of looking. Super like candy nose on that too. That's another like anything we've ran Golden State banana is super like sweet, desserty, like
the crazy part,
that
it got a lot of
candy
like
shit.
little crystal, like
So,
a crystal feel to it. So
Is
it's like
there a telltale on if you look at it and be like, okay, this is a wake me up or this is a sit me down when it comes to the bud?
From the bud, yeah, like I would say my own opinion on it, the more purple I see, the more like see like how this is
It
compared
kind of
to
give
that.
you a two, like both of them look like two different ones.
Yeah, like that
if you being
chunkier,
honest, yeah.
real like tight packed, dense bud structure. I would know this is like a hybrid or something to go
Got
to
you.
sleep with.
Okay.
That lighter green, a lot more like open structure because those sativas get taller, get skinnier.
The
That's
ones
how
you go
you
to
kinda
sleep
look.
with are more harder to break down as well.
They're super sticky and dense.
Exactly. That's what I
Like-
learned too. So I
Actually,
was
here,
just
we'll
like,
pull out the triple. You could even see, because it's a heavy, heavy indica. Like, look how short and squat purple that bud is.
as compared to the banana that I had.
Yeah,
The
like
banana
that
is,
right there.
it's totally different.
Yep.
Which I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, this is
That
beautiful.
looks like something.
If y'all can see this is triple.
That's a
Yeah,
triple,
that's the
triple
triple.
threat. I see that. That's a
That
triple
just
threat
dropped
right there.
too, so like Honey Grove got that right now. All the South
Okay.
Jersey shops got that.
Shouts out to Honey Grove.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Honey Grove, but shout out to Garden Greens.
Shouts
We
out
want to say
to
that
2Gs.
1,000 times in here because they're growing things out there that I'm telling you right now. This is so I've never seen a bud that actually looks like this. Is giving me.
And then I got a fresh bag of the Obama runts that ain't been open. We could do a live unbagging and opening.
Let's
on
get
it.
a backstory on how I met my man Joe. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
So
got him here.
backstory.
Once again, though, we're about to shout out Honey Grove Taste Creators.
Taste Creators,
the ones
yes.
that bring garden greens to the Philly area and
Yes.
get us some brotherly love.
How I met my man Joe. I was at Taste Creators event for Amir Ali. Shout out Amir Ali, who just did the
Amir
Roots
Ali.
picnic in Philly and killed it. Was up there with Common, Method Man, Black
Yeah,
Thought.
that shit looked wild.
That was legendary. I wish I could have had tickets to go this year. I didn't know it was going to be this epic. Sometimes you just don't know until you see the videos.
Yep.
But we went to the concert. He had a concert for his tape coming called High Street. It'll be hitting the end of this summer. And while we was there, it was sponsored by Honey Grove, Garden Greens, Taste Creators, and I just was so happened to be looking for herb in the party. Like, no, I didn't have any. I ran out because I was smoking the entire time. So I'm walking around. It's getting a little crazy out here. So I'm walking around and I'm trying to find somebody I know who's sponsoring so that I can figure out how to get what I need. So I meet some guy named Exotic.
Shout out the boy.
My man Exotic on Instagram as well. So he hooked me up with a package, and that package led me to Joe. And I met Joe outside, and he just had the most craziest amount of hospitality. I'd never met this man before, and I literally, like, he walked up to a Philly person that he didn't even know. You get what I mean? Didn't know at all. Just based off of me telling Exotic that I liked the product. And I felt like that moment made me want to know more about him. And I'm kind of glad I'm able to sit down here with him. So I want him to be able to kind of, tell how he got into this cannabis world and how he got, tied in with Garden Greens and brand managing.
This whole story. That's a wild way to put it too, because not many stories that start with he approached a dude from Philly and at a podcast smoking weed like this.
Look,
Shout out God. Thank you, Exotic, one more time, because the story ended differently on that.
it was nothing but God.
Before
with that
we,
one.
like, I was doing clothing, like, at Zoomies, running shop for them. Got tied in, and actually, like, shout them out, too.
I love Zoomies. Shout out Zoomies.
Shout out
man.
Zoomies.
Always keeping that nigga fly, man. What's
Shout
up?
out Petty Snacks specifically, the High and Mighty specifically. Those were, like, the two clothing brands that took me under their wing. Kind of showed me how to do what we're doing now before I even knew I was going to do it. So, like, the High and Mighty on Instagram, Petty Snacks on Instagram, two of my first real mentors on branding stuff.
And Brandon, yeah.
Took a
But more so
while.
like merch.
Merch, not even, like, how to promote a brand, because when I met them, they were both at their, like, infancies.
Got you.
Just started the brands, just got at Zoomies, and, like, we all became tight friends, like,
But
even...
super knowledgeable.
Dude,
Yeah.
even like to this day, we got a group chat on Instagram that
Yeah,
like
that's
we're
not-
all
that's not
in.
supposed to stay.
I talk to them like Petty Snacks. He's up in Seattle. High and Mighty. He's down in Arizona. I talk to them every day more than people that live in Jersey and that live in Philly. Like we stay in touch.
That's insane. Yeah.
Was at Zoomies for a while, then kind of got I don't know, I want to say like over it kind of got lost. Like this was during the pandemic. And
Yeah.
working in the mall when they reopened from the pandemic took a toll.
That was a weird time.
Yeah, like that took a toll on me.
I remember going to the mall during that time. And
Bro,
it was like, what the fuck?
It was Black Friday every single day when they reopened, and like there was social distancing, like store limits. So that took a toll on me. I've always been a pothead, like always been a smoker. I took some time without drinking, without weed, nothing. All thing took its toll. I started applying like every cannabis company. Like I knew Jersey was medical.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was gonna be adult use, but like knew that
it
was coming.
Yeah.
Applying, I got hired at one of the bigger corporate shops. I was there medically for almost 4 years. Medically for like 2 years, then we flipped to rec at that shop. But I was with them almost like 4 years. Did a lot of stuff for them. Like the store I ran was one of the first 11 for the adult use to sell on 421 3 years ago. Did that for a while, and then kind of like that mall pandemic reopening, wanted something more fulfilling. Like,
Yeah.
not knocking them, they taught me how to do the weed game. They taught me like how to buy, how to get into like cannabis, all that.
It just wasn't as fulfilling
Yeah,
to you.
it wasn't what I had pictured legal
Yourself.
weed being.
Okay.
You know, like being that
In your mind,
that
yeah.
childhood like high school stoner, like it was Wiz Khalifa videos, Cypress Hill videos, like
Yeah. It was
yeah,
different.
like
yeah.
it was that type shit. Cause like
It was more cultured around it.
I go back to like Wiz, Mac Miller, like
yeah, Mac.
those
yeah.
were the thing too. Is like being a Jersey kid, North Jersey, New York. I'm gonna say it, but Philly's won me over. Is like I've never fucked with Philly growing up. Like Mets fan, all that shit. And then I moved out this way, and it's always been mad love from Philly. So like now I'm fucking with Philly, but
It's a different climate too now, though.
there's so many different neighborhoods. Like I can't keep up with them. Like
yeah.
I'm thinking like Kensington, that's north, and that's it. And I'm thinking Zombieland, and then like all the homies
Then you
like.
realize it's
Nah, you
it's
got
different parts.
Fishtown, Northern Liberties, like Strawberry, all that shit. It's
West
like,
Philly type shit. All
and
kind
like
of shit.
every Philly neighborhood, you could be in the same one, but it's got a different name from like 8
Seriously.
different people.
Seriously,
It's
yeah.
wild. I love Philly now though.
I think it grows on you once
Yeah.
you get used to like you said, the neighborhoods, and then like food is on the rise here too. So
Philly's
it's
a
like
big food town.
it's a foodie place
But,
now.
like,
You get what I'm saying?
I love how much people from Philly fuck with Philly. Like it really is Philly
No matter where
against
you
the
go,
world.
though.
Yeah, it's Philly against the
against
whole
everybody.
world.
You can bump into them anywhere.
And
Everybody.
y'all are some of the nicest dickheads
Ah,
ever.
yo,
Like-
that's the best statement ever.
Philly is a bunch of the nicest dickhead, because y'all love saying dickhead out here, but like, they'll cut, dude, that,
That's his main word.
Bro,
That's
they'll
how
cuss
Wayne
you
say
out,
that
but,
shit
like-
all the
We'd
time.
rather fuck instead of get fucked.
yeah, like they'll cuss you
Yeah.
out, but they'll walk the old lady across the street,
no doubt.
like help that little old woman walk across.
Oh, what flavor is this?
That's the triple OG we just dropped.
That's the triple O?
Yeah, that's a 3-way cross of OG.
That's not none of these, right?
Nah, we ain't even get into
That's
that.
a triple OG.
Yeah, this a 3-way cross of 3 different OG Kush Phenos.
Yeah,
So
I like
it's
that
the
one.
Constantine Pheno. I forget what Constantine Triangle Kush and Master Yoda all cross with each other.
Master
Master
Yoda.
Yoda.
You knew I was about to say that after you said
This
it.
one, this one's from Exotic Genetics.
So basically, you got out of
Got out of Zoomies.
Zoomies.
Yep. Started at one of the corporate shops that was in Jersey. They were medical only when I started. When I left, they were medical and adult use. Like I was saying, like we launched adult use. We were one of the first 11 shops. Did that for a while. Was the GM of that spot. Like ran the shop, hiring, running the team, that type.
So you was pretty much like in the upper office.
Yeah, like running that specific
Running,
store.
yeah,
And
that store.
That's where, like, we were talking earlier, Mallory that was there, they taught me how to roll a joint. Exotic that linked us,
Yeah.
he was the supervisor over in that shop. So, like, we all met each other. Like,
It started kind
we
of
put
there.
the work in
Yeah.
there, and, like, we would all kind of sit back at that, too, of, like, yo, 1 year, 2 years from now, this shit's going to be a lot different. And, like, that's where it gets crazy, because we fast forward after the
Look
GM,
at this. That's how y'all be.
I did purchasing for that same shop, and then they had 3 locations in Jersey. One in Neptune, one in Lawrence, one up in Elizabeth.
I've never heard of Neptune, Jersey, but yeah.
It's like right outside Asbury Park.
See, you're from there, so you know how you was like, yeah, Philly is
That's
so
like
many
the Philly
different parts.
neighborhood,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, Jersey, what the fuck? I've never heard of these areas.
Yeah, like bro, you're one block you're in Neptune, the next block you're in Asbury. They're like right next to each other.
I got any good ball players over there?
I mean, Jersey. What's his name? Kyrie's from Jersey.
Yeah, bro.
Kyrie
Shaq
Irving,
from Jersey.
J.R. Smith, Shaq.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
When y'all got together from there, what happened? How did y'all get tied in with Garden Greens?
So that's where, like, from that, when we all met each other, I was running the shop. We all worked together. I went on for purchasing from there. So, like, totally same company doing the buying, like getting product for the menus, shopping for all three. Then I do that for about a year. And then, like we said, like, was lacking the fulfillment. But still, like, super happy doing what I was doing.
Yeah, you
like,
know a lot of people don't get a chance to do
yeah,
stuff
like,
like
dude,
that.
with
Yeah.
my background, like, I touched on the addiction, all that, like, for me
So
to
it was
be,
like a 360 moment.
yeah, like, be legally buying and selling weed at the click of a mouse, like, I
That
was
is insane,
grateful as all ever on that. Then I start hearing, because, like, my biggest thing as a buyer was, like, I need the fire weed, and I need it before all my competitors. Because, like, dude, I'm a sneakerhead, too, so, like...
Oh, yo,
yeah, you know, like, I need that pair of dunks before y'all get them, like...
Real shit.
And I'm working from home. I start hearing a lot, like, yo, Garden Greens is popping up. They got this, and, like, they got that. Fortunately for me, the HR director for Garden Greens was HR for me at my old company that I was with at the time. So I hit her up on LinkedIn. I'm like, hey, like, congratulations on the move. Like, hearing a lot of good things.
This is like in the stars. Like, everything was just lining up. Like, yeah.
It's a very eye-opening story. Like, I don't want to dive too deep. Like,
Yeah.
I've brought God back into my life. And, like, with bringing him back into my life, all these things started lining up. And that's why
this one today, yeah.
big faith. Like, dude, look at the weather we got right now.
That's what I said,
Something
I
wanted
this
this to
today,
happen.
for sure.
And I'm talking to her on LinkedIn. Like, you know me, I'm an Instagram dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all my business is through Instagram. Yes, one time,
Connecting
except
people.
Instagram got to come off the weed rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been shadow banned since 300 followers. We just broke 3,000, so, like, God bless. We're keeping traction, but we're just posting pictures of weed. Instagram, calm down.
It's way worse that I see.
Yeah. So she hits me back of like, hey Joe, like, thank you, la da da. Would you like to come, like, meet Josh? That's who you can talk to about wholesale. I call Josh. Josh doesn't answer. It's weird. That I love telling this story too. So, like, week goes by, I hit her back up. I'm like, hey, tried to call Josh. He didn't answer. Like, want to set up a tour, come down. Oh, Josh has been sick. Like, when he gets back, I'll make sure he calls you. Cool. Couple, like, days go by, I hit her up again of like, hey, still haven't heard from Josh. She just tells me, oh, he's back, just give him a call. I call him a second time, no answer. Couple days go by, and now I'm working from home. I'm not with that company anymore, so I'll talk about it. Work from home, you got certain hours where you can get away with things.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in between calls, I'm like, yo, screw it, I'm rolling a joint,
Yeah.
I'm smoking this
This
joint.
is the time right now.
Bro, I light this joint. The minute I take my first pull, phone starts vibrating. It's Josh. And I'm just like, shit. Like, I didn't put it out. I answer the phone. Hey, Josh, what's up? I start coughing. This is too, he tells me of like, this was one of the moments he knew he wanted me on the team. I start coughing. He's like, dude, I'm so sorry if you're sick. What I just had. I'm like, oh, no, dude. Like, full disclosure, I'm smoking a joint right now. And I hear that interest in his voice kind of perk up of like, oh,
okay, well,
what are you smoking? Tell him, oh, all right. Turns out, like, the grower's weed I was smoking is a good friend of his from out west for like 20 years.
I never tied in
Right?
situation, yeah.
So that blows my mind because, like, as a corporate weed buyer in that corporate game, nobody's like this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, you say names like Doja, if it's not cookies and it's a hype grower, they don't know who you're talking about. He recognized, I'm like, so this dude knows his shit. We're vibing. What are you doing Thursday? Thursday's my easiest day. Like, I can come. You want to come down for a tour? Yeah. I get down. We're walking through the facility. Tells me the hit with the sunset sherbet of like, you know, we're not really crazy about growing it, but I want to smoke it. So we're growing it.
That kind of confidence. And
We both kind of just vibe and mesh on that visit. And he turns and I talk to him. I'm like, so how do I get on your team? This is weed to me. Like, and he just cracks this smile of like, why do you think I invited you down here? Like, I've
why
heard.
didn't you say something sooner?
Yeah, like I was like, yeah, like I wish.
What are you waiting for? What do you think I'm doing this for? Look.
Sign on. I start at Garden Greens as of February 19th of this year.
Oh, wow.
Then get into the Garden Green story like we were talking earlier is we're family owned, more specifically woman of that family owned. Our license is under the D'Andrea family, who they have been down in Vineland since 1917, fourth generation produce farmers. Yes, D'Andrea's. And shout out to them as well, because like
Shout out to the D'Andrea's family.
as far as large,
and just as far as like all women, family owned business, started, what's it, 100 years?
1917 they started.
1917,
produce
so
business.
over 100 years.
All in Vineland, and like I want to touch on that too. Is like wealthy family, successful family, owns a very, very top level weed brand. Dude, I've never worked for people like this in my entire life. Like, one of the nicest families, walks to our facility every single week. They're there. And from father down to son, like, they will give you the shirt off their back. They're just thrilled to be doing what they're doing. Like, they grew cabbage for 100 years. They never thought they'd be selling weed. So lettuce, round citrus, grapes, blueberries, they grew.
Harvest.
Cold packed, harvested. And, like, chances are, if you're in Jersey, PA, if you've got a round citrus from a shop, right, you most likely bought it from them.
From them.
And they're in Vineland all 100 years. They hear of like, yo, weed's about to go legal. We want it.
It's about to break ground, yeah.
But they come to the point too of like, we know how to grow grapes and round citrus and lettuce and cabbage. We have no idea how to grow weed. They get some consulting. They get some people from out west, different parts of the country to come together, build this race car that is Garden Greens, and like our system comes from California consulting. We've built that. Our genetics come from a California base. Like, we can get them from their group that they brought in to help them with this license. And now we're at a point where the brand's been on market for almost a month and a half, 2 months now.
And it seems like they've been kind of moving like a little longer than that.
Yeah.
In a sense, when you watch the social media and how everything is set up, and as far as like even being out here and politicking, as far as like the street team, like I've never seen a street team move like Garden Greens. Like, to be honest, I don't care what you're selling. You could be selling clothes, perfume. I don't care what you're selling. I don't think your street team is even like close to coming to what they're doing out here and how they're trying to literally bridge the gap between what actual brands do with cannabis companies. Yep. And I feel like, to be honest, like earlier you said they're some of the nicest people that you ever met, but it's a reflection of the people they hire too, because I feel like sitting down with you, you're one of the nicest guys that I probably ever met in my life. So to know you was from Jersey, I was like, God damn, like.
Well, see, like, that too, you hit it right on the head with that, is like, they knew who they hired. And our big slogan at the building, that's why I can't wait for y'all to come see the facility. Happy people grow happy plants.
Yes.
And that's really what we're trying to keep it as, is like, we're having so much fun, dude. And like,
how could you not?
Like, my boss, the street team's boss, Josh, he's an OG in this game. Been doing it.
He is.
Oddly enough, he was down in Florida.
So smart too, because
brilliant dude.
Oh my God.
He was down in Florida growing up, but actually born in Jersey as well. Grew up in Jersey, spent time in Florida, did this whole weed game out in California, like at the peak of California. So like, I'm very grateful to have that mentor. They approached him to the D'Andrea family, their consultants, of like, how do you feel about going back to Jersey to do weed? And for him, it was a no-brainer of like, go back to Jersey to do weed. I'm from Jersey, and I love weed, and I love Jersey.
That's like, why not? Yeah.
That's where like the social media, the street team, like the biggest thing for us is we want to smoke with everyone that smokes our weed, and we want to just have fun doing it. Like, that's
Bottom
the simple
line,
root cause of all of it, is like, if you're not having fun with weed,
what the fuck are you doing?
why are you dealing with weed at all? is supposed to make you happy and have fun.
And two is like even the educational part. Like I tell people all the time is like I don't want to. And this is gonna. Oh shit! Whatever
That bird
kind of
was right
animal
there.
that was. I hope that got in there because I'm gonna keep that cut because whatever the fuck bird that was exotic.
Shout out to Exotic.
Shout out to Exotic. See, I just be cutting in there with that shit, but like, it's really educational at the end of the day. I think a lot of people that push cannabis sometimes, in either the pod or the rapping community, they don't really do it in a way where they understand the concept of how it grows and how you feed it and
Yes.
pretty much the cultivation of it all. And to the marketing of it all. And two, like for me, I'm a dad, so it's like I used to smoke for different purposes, but now it's like I don't sleep as much. I'm a creator, so like sometimes like my thoughts keep me up. So it's like I use it now for certain purposes, to sleep, to relax, stuff like that. So it's like I had to get more into which ones make me feel like what. So to me, it's more of an educational thing as opposed to a recreational thing.
Yep.
And it's whoever you are. I'm not saying, oh, lean into this or lean into that. But if you learn more about it, if you like it, you learn more about it, this will help you do that. You get what I mean? So speaking on basically how you came to work with the company, how did you get tied in with the Taste Creators Amir Ali event?
That goes back, like we started off, Big Dave, the staff, the team, like Big Dave, Jeff.
Shout out Big Dave.
Shout out Big Dave. Sour Dave, Big Dave. That's the homie right there. And like him.
Shout out the dog he had at the show too. He was the
Shout out
flyest
Charlie.
motherfucker in the room.
Charlie got the
Damn.
chillest vibe, and he don't smoke any weed because he's a dog.
Eh.
Like that's just like the owner matching the dog, dude. They're the same being. But like Dave, Jeff, Lisa, Britt, all them at Honey Grove, they've shown me mad love since day one. Like that is family. Like that's not homies. That's not account. That's family. We started popping up with them. Like he was one of our first accounts. The Honey Grove shop over in Clementon. They were like one of the first of our accounts. Yeah.
Now I know some areas.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
So like I got to know him. I find out that Lisa, Taste Creators, all them over there, helping them with the marketing. So like we just start getting tight with Taste Creators through Dave and Honey Grove. We do
Shout out to Taste Creators.
Strain drop at
Lisa.
Dave. Yeah, shout out Lisa, Taste Creators, Shop by Wave, JB, all them. I'm forgetting names. There's a lot of names over there.
About to take the whole Philly by storm right now. And they was just in the Inquirer too.
Every time I'm with them, we smoke a lot of weed, so I forget names. But like we dropped a strain called White Cake at Honey Grove. Taste Creators brings core over from Philly. We line it up. Shout out Core too. Like I'm a big fan now. Like I said, bro, I didn't listen to any of these Philly rappers.
Look, he getting tied into the music now too, y'all. So look, if y'all go on his page, his Instagram, we're gonna drop the Instagram, send him some music. You know what I mean?
fuck with all of them. Like Philly, me and Exotic were talking about it. Philly's got its sound now, and that's the Kurs, that's the Amir Ali.
Yep,
So
it's
like
formulating. Yep.
we do that. They line it up with him to come do like a meet and greet, a signing. If you bought the Garden Greens 8th, you get the autograph in the picture type deal. Me and Taste Creators hit it off from there, and like we ain't have much to work with in terms of a budget, so they always just showed us love of like,
That's
yo,
what's up though. Yeah.
that's how the Amir show lined up. Like they hit us up of like, yo, we don't want you to give any money or like sponsor it or anything, but if you could show up with some product, like we'd appreciate it.
It's just about the connection at the end of the day.
And like we showed up on it. We brought some bags. We were handing them out to the crowd, and like it just lined up like that.
And then that's when, that story I said came into play when I met him, and I was like, it's Garden Greens and it's nothing else. You know what I mean? It's literally that simple. That's why we outside today, because it's fucking Garden Greens. Okay.
We're gonna expand. Like right now, that Golden State Banana Garden Greens collab, that Garden State Banana, we've got multiple brands like that lined up. We've got multiple brands under the Garden Greens umbrella as well that we're looking to launch. There's one I'm not saying anything about.
Yeah, don't speak on it. Don't speak on it.
I won't, but it's one I'm having the most fun working with Josh on.
No, don't speak on it.
It is going to be super exclusive, like, for the upscale connoisseur.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
Elite.
The
This
ones
is
who
the
know they
elite
stuff.
smoker, yeah. Like the ones where you drop certain terms and they get excited. Like,
Southside Green.
yeah, we're and like a super hype marketing campaign behind it. Like, think like the Jordan one, that's like sneakerheads,
Yeah, but for
but for some weed,
cannabis.
yeah, cannabis, weed, whatever you want to call
Whatever
it.
you want to call it. Yeah.
That I'm excited for, but like that's our other thing. Back to the fun is like if we want to put a brand out and come up with something, if it's right, we'll put it together and push it out. And that's where we have fun because like we're for the smoker, by the smoker.
That's the
Is
best
the
part
best way
about
to
it.
put it.
I feel like a lot of companies they sell to the consumer, but they don't care about the feedback from the consumer. Like
Nah.
actual real, you can see the feedback. Like
And that was like we had, every cultivator knows, not every consumer or customer knows, is like you have some hurdles, some headaches as a grower to overcome. And like there was a point on our second drop, our weed was real dry. Like we won't lie about it. We won't
yes,
say it wasn't.
look,
Like
honesty is the best way.
we
Like,
were pissed about it.
Yeah, because y'all look, we got something now. We gotta fix this.
We took our feedback. Like we heard it. We didn't shun it. We didn't tell people.
Y'all
like,
didn't run away from it.
Yeah,
No.
like we heard it. Next drop came. Everybody saw that. Like, yo, they listened to us. They actually did what
They
we asked.
improved.
Like they
Yeah.
improved. And we'll be the first ones to tell you, even that improvement, we could still get way better. Like there's so much that
You
we
can see
have.
so much growth.
Yeah.
And what y'all could do later.
It's
You know
all
what I
about
mean?
dialing in. And like we know last harvest isn't the one that marks us. Like we got a whole new harvest to focus
So right
on.
now, how many strains do you have available actually for purchase for people? Like
Close-
out in stores, how many different strains do
Close
you have
to
in stores?
20, 25, which
20
we're-
or 25 different.
Yeah, right
strains.
now, and that's where we're at a position with such new to the industry, new to the growth of the company. We're trying to weed out which ones we want to keep around forever and then be able to experiment and play around with like certain ones under different branding and be able to find what works, what brings that back in. So like we're putting just everything we have right now out to see what the market likes, which way the market's going. And we're gonna slim that down of like Garden Greens being a select few strains
I
that
like that.
that we want to put out to everybody.
I like that.